Hey guys, it's Leisure and Soul. Welcome to our first video.
Today we're going to talk to you about 5 travel tips for your next vacation.
Tip number 1, communicate. Be sure to let your partner or bae, situationship, whatever it is, know that you're interested in travel. Even if you haven't done it before, throw it out there as an idea. Don't be afraid to let your person know that you want to travel.
And if you have any fears about flying or traveling in general, whether it's safety concerns or budget concerns, definitely discuss those too, because you don't want to go in having all these hesitations and your partner not being understanding of what those hesitations are. In addition to that, you want to talk about where you want to go. For me, one of my big places was Japan.
For me, I choose my places based on the cheapest ticket at the time and the weather.
Around when you get to the traveling, you want to be able to communicate to your partner about how you guys kind of interact, whether you're in the space or you're in social media. We prefer being in the space together and experiencing things together.
Being present, but also taking pictures to document the moment. But I think if someone is super interested in social media and everything they do is about documenting their perfect Instagram flick, then that can be annoying if that's not what you're expecting. So it's definitely something to talk about. Tip number 2, segue from what we were just talking about, is really learn each other's travel style. If you're not sure what your travel style is internationally because you haven't traveled before, think of some other trips you've taken, what you really like to do, and talk about those things. Mimi and I travel very differently.
Yes, we do. I am more of a let's pack as many things into one day as possible. And Sherelle is more of a
I'm the leisure in leisure and soul. So I think there has to be some compromise. You're not necessarily going to travel the same, but you can compromise.
And then, once you have your travel style figured out, you also want to discuss what types of things you want to see. So some people are really focused on art, food, going to see monuments and all that. Meeting people, just randomly talking to strangers, or stranger danger, whichever one, however you feel about it. But, have discussions around that as well and find some balance between each other's interests, and everyone gets to see what they wanted to see in that given location.
Yeah. Also, something to discuss is the time you want to wake up. I know that sounds really trivial, but I like to sleep in, and Mimi likes to wake up like yesterday. It's like still dark out.
It's like 7.
My optimal time for waking up is around
3 p.m. Tip number 3?
Yeah.
Want to go in?
Sure. Tip number 3 is budget. Mimi and I have been dating for, not that long. And I was like, hey, do you want to get a savings account together to, save for travel?
Skirt.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Anyway.
I didn't let that stop me though. So what I did was I signed us up for Google Wallet, and we were able to register our information separately, but have a joint account where we could both save money together. I think it's really important to have a set budget by the time you decide to go somewhere, and you really need to figure out what that budget should be based on the place that you're going, and save as you go little by little. So if you have a trip planned, 6 months, a year out from now, just kind of figure out what you can save from each paycheck and have a space that you can save together. For us, that was Google Wallet. I mean, now we have a joint bank account, but it takes some time to get there.
But before you get there, you really want to be honest about each other's finances, particularly how much each other makes, how much each person makes. I know that it's probably a harder discussion if you're really early on into the relationship, but it's definitely helpful in regards to travel, so that way not one particular person is taking too much of the cost or more cost than they're comfortable with.
We think that the best way to save is relative to your salary, if you're comfortable having that conversation. So if you've decided that you're going to save, 20%.
Yeah, 80%.
If you've decided that you're going to save $2,000 for a trip, and someone makes 20% more, then they will save 20% more on that $2,000.
Yeah.
Number 4, put it on the calendar. Mimi's in consulting. His schedule is super unpredictable, and he travels. For my career, it's really predictable. It's seasonal. I know exactly when I'm going to be busy. So I'll share the dates that work for me, and then Mimi will share with his team, and we'll see kind of what works getting something on the calendar far in advance is definitely the best way to go. I think putting it on the calendar is super important because it means that you're gonna make it happen. Once you put it on the calendar and you start budgeting and thinking about some of the other things that we've mentioned in this video, you know that you're really gonna make this trip happen. It's not something that you're just talking about.
Yeah. And then step number 5, take baby steps. So for us, we live in the Bay Area, so we went to North Bay. That was like a 30-minute or so commute from where we live, and that just gave us an opportunity to experience each other's travel styles and travel pace, not be too far away, just in case, you know, something went wrong or we just didn't want to mess with each other anymore at all. Yeah, all right, and that is our 5 tips for your next vacation.
So this is our first video. If you have suggestions, leave it in the comments.
If you liked our videos, definitely like or subscribe below. We hope to see you next time, unless you had something to say. She has nothing to say. She ain't got no words.
Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.